Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for The Beekeeper, of course the newest action film starring Jason Statham, directed by David Ayer. David Ayer, who gave us, gave us Fury, which is really good, but then he also gave us the original Suicide Squad. So whatever, he's very hit and miss. But when he hits. And this one here, of course, it's an action film, and which is one of Jason Statham's wheelhouse, right? We've seen him do, it seems like 1,000 of these generic kind of action films over the years, and it's like him and Liam Neeson, compete to see who can do the most generic action films in Hollywood. But overall, I do like Statham. He does good stuff most of the time. I like his screen presence. He's got great physicality. You buy because he does kick ass, right? And this movie is no different. But here we find Statham playing. He's a nice little he's a beekeeper. Presumably, just living a nice peaceful life. He's living in a property owned by this older woman who kind of takes care of him, brought him in. And one day she is taken for a ride. She gets scammed by some internet company, who robs her of all her money. At which point she commits suicide. And listen, Jason Statham takes that the wrong way. Some guys you don't mess with. Ethan Hunt's one of them, John Wick's the other, and any character Jason Statham plays, you just don't fuck with those guys. You're asking for trouble, and there's no different here because he does take it personal and takes it upon himself to go after the people in his organization and find out who's at the very top following the money. But the thing is that he is a beekeeper, but he also was a retired member of a secret organization called the Beekeepers, who those are the guys who are, talking about like badasses of the badasses, right? The guys the Navy SEALs don't want to mess with. They're brought in to kind of bring balance when things go out of whack, if you will, and they kind of use this metaphor with beekeeping and all that, and that's kind of how they structure themselves, which is why they are beekeepers in their off time, I guess. But obviously he's got the tools and the resources and the know-how to kick some ass because this guy is unstoppable. He's unstoppable. That is what he is, and he brings the comeuppance to all those who deserve to get the comeuppance brought into him. So this one here, it's a fun movie. It is not a great film, of course not. It's not going to win any awards anytime soon. But for what it is, it's a good time. This kind of films, it knows what it is. Doesn't take itself too seriously. And this is Jason Statham just kicking ass with cool fight scenes, graphic at times, and do a good job of setting him up that you actually want to see him go kick some ass because these guys are real scumbags. Now, is it all perfect? Is it all gravy? No, of course not. This isn't John Wick. Although they do try to at times seem like there's a world there that could resemble John Wick. They don't go that route, but I could see them going there in the future if they decide to keep this franchise going. Who knows? But it's it's still a good time. And is it over the top sometimes and silly? Yeah, no doubt. The villain's a little over the top and cartoony at times. Absolutely. Jeremy Irons is also starring in this, and I kind of do like Jeremy Irons in most things, and he's good here. He kind of brings a little gravitas to this film, a much needed gravitas to the film. But at the end of the day, listen, this is the kind of film you walk into, you want to see some cool action, Statham kicking ass left and right. This is for you. And I like him. I like action films. And I really enjoyed this. This is actually a kind of a surprise. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. Now, yeah, the story isn't great. There's nothing much to it. But it's a beauty in simplicity, right? I mentioned John Wick earlier. And John Wick, again, it was a simple story that really set up this revenge. And John Wick goes out and kills everybody. And you love every second of it. This isn't as nearly as good as that. But in terms of simplicity, it follows some of the same things. Simple revenge stories, kicking ass because nobody else can. And he's unstoppable. It is what it is. And almost too unstoppable. He's almost like a superhero here film. But again, it's a little over the top. But what do you expect? I mean, you have to suspend disbelief. And that's okay because you're having a good time. The third act goes a little bit too long. But nonetheless, it's fun. You root for him. You want to see the comeuppance. And it's done in a good way. And it's well directed at the end of the day. Again, nothing is going to change your life. But it's a fun time. I do actually, if you're into this kind of films, do recommend you guys check it out. You're gonna have a good time, absolutely. And if you do, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.